right, welcome back, guys. It's Friday. So I hope everyone's doing well. I'm Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and I hope that all of your treasure hunting desires are coming true. So in this video, we have kind of a hot topic. It's been brought up before. A number of channels have probably talked about it, one in which I'm going to talk specifically for a brief moment, as maybe as kind of someone that could possibly shed a little light on the whole what do dealers buy debate. All right, and a lot of it revolves around errors and varieties. Now, you guys are pretty familiar with my channel to this point. I mean, we're 12 years deep into the BlueRidgeSilverhound network of videos. You know, over 2,300 videos represented on this channel for you guys to take a look at any given time. All right, but you're going to notice that there's a lot of emphasis on errors and varieties, and the big reason why is that for the longest time, you know, probably since the dawn of the internet age, well, good old errors and varieties have been relatively niche. Is that the word? Okay, we'll use niche. It's been kind of a niche subject. It's not what I would consider to be a universally known or beloved part of numismatics, which is coins and currency. And rightfully so. It's not for everyone, for sure, you know, but even to this day, as much as various new doubled dies and various errors have come out onto the scene, it seems to be not everyone has taken a liking to it, all right, for a number of reasons. I think the big one, all right, and I get this all the time, is my coin dealer won't buy it. They just won't. All right. I'm going to tell you, yeah, most of them won't buy some of those errors and varieties. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Why aren't they buying some of those coins that you guys are finding? Some of the coins that I, Sean Blue Ridge, is talking about pretty much on a weekly basis. And I am, you know, I'll be honest. I talk about every day if I have to. But my job as a content creator is to promote these out to the masses, to the people that are a little curious, who've never done coins or anything like that, but ultimately make folks understand that this is something hidden within change that's circulating out there, all right, that pays off dividends. What do I know today? What do we all know today, all right, is that inflation is running rampant. We could all certainly use some extra money, you know, to help put money in the gas tank. Where else are you going to find it? You going to go and get a second job like everybody else, you know, and do that? I mean, you could do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm telling you, there's an easier way, all right? And a lot of the things that I pitch and promote on this channel, all right, it's not all fluff and gumballs. I'm not blowing smoke over anyone's hoo-ha. I don't. I talk real facts. I talk about the coins. I talk about the news that matters. I talk about all these things. However, as much as I try and talk and promote and you know, throw out the breaking news of a specific new error that has come out on a brand new coin, there's always that stigma that someone will come out and they'll comment, my coin dealer will not buy these. Therefore, it's junk, and you're a lying sack of you-know-what. And I'm going to say, no, I'm not. Maybe you're just lazy. That's what it really comes down to. Today, a lot of what people do to make a difference and to kind of start their own business is they utilize the internet. They capitalize on its reach, its bandwidth. And even myself, I make a lot of money on an e-commerce platform. I could literally stop YouTube today and concentrate on just bolstering my eBay store, reopening up my Amazon store, things like that. And I would be okay. And I would make a pretty damn good living doing it as a result. But you got to understand, for all of you folks out there that say that coin dealers won't buy them, well, it's the same very coin dealers who are living in 1985. There was no internet. It was like, whatever came into my shop, I have full control over how it sells. So that's where the whole topic of errors and varieties come into play and why they're not buying it. And a lot of it has to do with the original promotion of the things. All right, for the longest time, have you guys seen this book before? It's come in a myriad of different shades of red, hardcovers, spiral bounds, mega reds. This thing right here was available at every conceivable bookstore, from Barnes & Noble to Borders Books. You guys remember Borders? What's the other one? Walden Books in the mall. A lot of malls have Walden Books. They were never usually a standalone store. Even half-price books, you can get some of these. They might be a year or two old, but they still save the. They still have the same purpose for coin collectors. So this book right here, and I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to pick a random page, but if we went to, again, one of the most widely collected coins on the face of the earth, the Lincoln cent, all right, you're going to see a bunch of various different dates, right? All right, see that? You're going to see all the dates right here with the Denver mint mark, with the Philadelphias, the ones that don't have a mint mark on there. But occasionally, you're going to come across a coin just by casually looking around that have varieties. See, double dies. What's that one? Small date, large date, double die in there as well. Obverse. All right, you look at these, and these are all generally well recognized within the community as acceptable market caliber coins that can be embraced by everybody. Dealers, private party collectors, today's day and age. Anyone that sells on the internet can easily sell any variety that's in this here publication. Now, not all coin dealers, share in exactly what I'm going to say. All right. So you guys know Daniel Malone. He's one of the resident YouTube coin dealers. Very trustworthy, has his own shop, does daily content the same way that I try and do. And I think it would be apropos if we were able to get Daniel, and I know Daniel watches some of my videos, and while we're not incredibly close, we do respect each other's presence on the internet space. Okay, he has his own perspective from the dealer side. I'm over here on the outside of the glass looking in. Now, at one point, I was a dealer back in the early 2000s, and it was fun while it lasted. It just, I was doing it during a time where I was also going to college, so it was kind of a funny time, and I couldn't 100% put my time and effort into it. But even 22 years ago, I was able to make really good money doing it. All right. And today, it should be a lot easier to make money from the hobby. It's just the game has changed to the point where you don't have to be ultra reliant to coin dealers in order to sell your wares. Okay. First of all, you go to a coin dealer if and only if you need to sell your coin now because you need the cash now. All right. Let's go ahead and put that distinction to bed. The only reason why you want to go to a coin shop and get money today is because you need it today. You need it to pay bills. You need it, to continue to put the roof over your family's head. That is the immediate need when it comes to a coin dealer and what it means in this conversation. Now, that's not 100% of the time. There's people that go into a coin shop that want to sell coins, all right, to maybe want to buy another coin, all right, and that's perfectly fine. But when we go into a coin shop, the expectation level is they're knowledgeable enough that they should know everything that's going on. Today, here in 2022, a lot of the information is out there on the internet. It's a very information-driven world. So the likelihood that a coin dealer will probably know a lot of what you're talking about when it comes to a lot of the errors and varieties and just basic US type coins, along with some world coins, should be a given. Now, there are some dealers that's willing to play ball. All right, but you're going to have to literally turn over every single rock to find that dealer. That dealer is 1 in a million. That is a true gem right there. And, when you walk in and you have some of these, like cherry picker's guide varieties, which I will tell you, a lot of dealers don't care about them, but there's a lot of extremely valuable varieties that aren't in the red book, but are in the cherry picker's guide that people covet and pay many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to own a specimen of that coin. Some of the coins are just way too wildly scarce and unique that coin dealers don't even know what they are. Therefore, they stay away from the unknown. That's what it is. They stay away from the unknown on most occasions. However, the other component to all of this is that they just don't want to deal with errors and varieties because to them, it's minor. There's a lot of minor errors and varieties that aren't in any publication. They can only be found by going to some off-the-wall niche, very niche website like doubledie.com or coppercoins.com. But oftentimes they'll go into a coin shop and they don't even want to deal with that. They're like, nah, you keep that. To me, it's only worth a penny. But the big component to all this for a coin dealer is that they run a business. Time is everything. They want inventory that they could move and keep off the shelves for a long period of time. They don't want to have to, buy a bunch of one type of coin where they're going to have to do all this extra legwork. They're going to have to take images, photography of the coins. They got to do the close-ups. They got to pay to promote and advertise the coins on eBay, things like that. They don't want to have to do that. A lot of them do understand that there is this hidden secondary market for errors and varieties that are best served being sold on the e-commerce platforms that we see today, from eBays of the world, Facebook Marketplace. There's a number of dedicated groups where people buy, sell, and trade errors and varieties all day long. Now, on the error side of it, it's not 100% niche, but a lot of your off-the-wall, very unique pieces are being sold through auction houses anyways, or they're being offered by gentlemen like Mr. Sullivan, who have a website that's nothing but error coins, and that's what they specialize in. But I think what really kind of trips most people up is that variety part. A great example is the 1972 Lincoln Cent doubled die obverse. It's the very coin I showed you in this Red Book price guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at this coin right here. It's very attractive. It's a really, really major variety, and coin dealers know about this. They will buy it, and they will pay the appropriate market value. As a matter of fact, I believe the coin is in the coin dealer newsletter, or the gray sheet is what they call it. That's how they're that's where all their bid and ask prices on the wholesale level exists. But they also use like new Numis Media Dealer Edition, things like that. And I'm almost 100% certain that the 72 double die obverse is in there. But I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball to you guys. All right, did you know that there are 9 or 10 major doubled dies recognized by Favaz Stanton in the Cherry Picker's Guide? But the one major one that we're all talking about is the FS 101 with the wild doubling on the obverse. That's the one that is being promoted in the Red Book price guide, and that is the one that a lot of dealers care to carry because that's going to be a relatively easy sale for them. All right, the same way that the 1955 doubled die obverse would be a great score for a coin dealer. Or maybe that 1943S double die obverse Washington quarter is another fantastic score. These are all coins that are wildly expensive and are very well known in the dealer network and the hobby in general. But that 1972 Lincoln Cent, all right, in Mint State 65 probably has a value of about $600 to $800. The prices have jumped up. dealers are okay paying whatever, the wholesale, bid amount is for that coin, and then, they'll take it into inventory, and then that's a coin that they wouldn't mind reselling on their own eBay store or reselling in their actual brick and mortar. Okay. Again, for a coin dealer to accept certain coins as being legitimately something that they could move right away, they're going to make an offer on that to obtain it, so that way they could put it into their store. They don't want to hold on to this stuff forever. All right. Coin dealers are businesses, and depending on where they're located at, they have to take care of overhead and advertisement fees and internet fees and things like that. Right. It's just, that's kind of like part of being a business owner, but they want the stuff that's easiest to sell. Errors and varieties aren't quite in that arena, and they will never be. And that's why that's kind of like some of the big kind of like grassroots level of reasoning as to why a coin dealer will not buy your errors and varieties, even though they command this so-called market here in a sphere. And that's it. It's in a sphere. It's not big enough to be this otherworldly kind of understanding that everybody and every dealer should pay this amount of money because that's what it sells for on eBay. A coin dealer and eBay are two complete different entities in the world of dealer networking. Okay, it just is what it is. Okay, a lot of the less mainstream varieties, kind of like the stuff that I talk about, which is why it's a lot more niche than anything else. These are coins that are best reserved as you, as the collector and the cherry picker, to go out there and post them yourself on eBay and sell it that way, because you're going to have a much broader audience. You're going to have, 1,000 times bigger audience selling on eBay than you would trying to sell to a dealer, because that's one person versus 10,000 people looking at your item. All right. Does that make sense? So this is not a knock at all to coin dealers. They serve a purpose in the community, and it's a great place to go to talk coins, to talk shop. But there's not going to become a time where a dealer, especially your old school way of thinking folks, that still own and operate these establishments, who are 70, 80, 90 years old, who just prefer old school. And I've actually, here in Northern California, there's like 2 or 3 dealers that don't take credit card or debit card at all. They just prefer cash transactions, one of which is in the Bay Area. I went there a few months ago. These people still exist, but you also need to respect their ground they're walking on for the hobby. All right. You'll never be able to change them, but they at one point made a huge impact for numismatics in the immediate area, and people still do love them. People have to adapt to those type of dealers by bringing in cash, or having to sit down for long amounts of time to cherry pick through a flat row box or a double row box of coin. The idea that these coins that I talk about today have no value is just absolutely asinine. It's very silly, and quite frankly, it's very short-sighted. Hopefully this video was able to provide a little bit more of the insight. Again, Mr. Malone, if you're listening on this video, I would love for you to discuss your stance on this. And Mr. Malone, he knows about grading. He knows about varieties. He does a lot of silver dollars, and, that's one of my favorites as well. He's very knowledgeable to VAM varieties within the series. So he's an outlier, but, he's also talked to other dealers. He does a lot of the dealer-to-dealer trades. If he does a show circuit, he would be the one to tell you how the perspective is, the general consensus is within the dealer community. And you're going to find that he'll agree with me in some regards, but, he's not going to really put himself within that group of the older folks that are just, they're narrow in their thinking and their ways, even though we're in 2022, when there is a much broader world out there. So, sometimes it's just easier to forego dealing with a headache of a coin dealer when it comes to very, very niche type of varieties and errors, and just go ahead and put it out into the e-commerce platforms that are out there today. All right, but you got to make sure you are able to make and take really good photos, a lot of close-ups. There's a lot of tools at your disposal, USB microscopes, coming out of our ears. I've sold quite a few of them. I think all my viewers have probably bought them for me because sales have slowed down. That's not really neither here nor there. But that is how the dealer network exists in today's society when it comes to liquidating some of those very unique coins. Okay, and it's not just about errors and varieties. There's a lot of very unique numismatic related items. There's a category called exonumia, which includes things like trade tokens and condor tokens and Civil War tokens, store cards, encased cents, elongated cents, like the kind that you get at like Disneyland or used to. Apparently the machines there have all the coins in the machine already, so you can't even use your own coins, which changes the game a little bit. But you guys, on the boardwalk and all that, a little machine that you stick a coin in, and then, it flattens it and puts the souvenir advertisement on there. These are all things that coin dealers will not touch as well. All right. The exception might be Civil War tokens and store cards, because those are quite popular within a certain segment of collectors who deal in Civil War memorabilia and ephemera and things like that. So sorry to drag it out so long. I wanted to take some time to talk about me as a collector and my personal dealings with dealers, because I've talked to dozens of dealers, and the overall sentiment is they'd rather avoid it because there's too much time and energy and research involved for them to tackle with it with such small gains and a longer turnaround time to sell these things. So that's why I wanted to let you guys know about. Hopefully you got a little bit of information and education from this video. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Thank you again so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on the next coin video. Whew, time to do a little treasure hunt for some of those niche coins, right? All right, see ya.